Hello everyone, welcome back to FPL Star. Today I gonna discuss about FPL final news and analysis for Game Week 7. So before starting, if you are new in this channel, please subscribe this channel for FPL content throughout the season. Now let's start. Now, at first, I will start about the expected goal score ratio per match for top 5 team. And here, Tottenham is the favorite. Their expected goal score ratio for Game Week 1 to Game Week 6 is 2.60. So, I think you should go for their midfield or forward option. And I think in forward option, Solanke, and in midfield option, Kulusevski and Johnson can be the option. The second team here is Liverpool. They are also attacking a good team, so you can go for their midfielder forward option. Arsenal is also there. 2.32 expected goal score ratio is very good for Arsenal attacker. And Chelsea and Manchester City, as usual, is there because I think this season under Maresca, Chelsea playing very attacking football, and Manchester City always played very attacking football, so they are there. And now I will move on to the expected goal score ratio per match for bottom five team. And if your defender play against this five team, I think you should play them. And the first team here is Ipswich. They are not looking good in attacking sales. Their expected goal score here is 0.96, and Leicester is also not a very good attacking side. So I think you should avoid Ipswich forward like Delap and also the Leicester forward Bardi. This data shows that because they are not very attacking team. And if you look at the third team here is Wolves. This season their expected goal score ratio is 1.11. Everton surprisingly their expected goal score ratio this season is 1.23, but they are scoring goal. I think they are overperforming their data, and West Ham is also there. Their expected goal score ratio is 1.27. Now move on to the expected goal concentration per match for game week 1 to game week 6, and Liverpool has got the best defense. Their expected goal concentration is 0.85, so you should go for at least one Liverpool defender. Tottenham this season also improved their defensive state. Their expected goal concentration is 0.898, and Fulham this season are looking good in defensively. Their expected goal concentration is 1. Manchester City, though they are leaking goal, but still their defensive data looks solid. Their expected goal concentration is 1.03. This makes them in the fourth in this list. And Nottingham Forest this season playing very well defensively. Their expected goal conceded ratio is 1.21. They maintain clean sheet against Liverpool, and that's a positive thing. And if you look at the bottom five expected goal consideration, and if your midfield or forward from playing against these five teams, I think you should go for them, and you might captain them against these five teams. And the first team here is Leicester. They are not very good defensive side this season. Their expected goal concentration is 2.72, and Ipswich also not looking good in defensive sense. Their expected goal concentration is 2.33. Southampton has got 2.21 expected goal concentration. This means three promoted team are not looking good defensively. The fourth team here is Manchester United. This season, under the manager Ten Hag, Manchester United are struggling, and their defensive data also showing this. They have got 2.18 expected goal concentration per match, which is very bad. And the five team here is Everton. Their expected goal concentration is 2.16. So you should avoid Everton defense or their goalkeeper Pickford. Now I'll talk about few major news for Game Week 7, and I will start with Liverpool. In press conference, a journalist asked Arne Slot on whether any player needs minute managed, and the answer for Arne Slot was no. This means I think for Game Week 7, Luis Diaz will start against Crystal Palace in the left wing position. And Ernest Slot was also asked about Jota and Nunes, whether Nunes is fit for his team. And the answer for Ernest Slot in this matter is that if I am completely honest, which I like to be, just as you journalist, even Diego Jota didn't have many goals. I think the most goals we scored come from our wingers until now, and Diego Jota scored 2 goals when we played West Ham when he played from the number 10 position. So maybe it's also for us something to look at. And if you look at the Champions League match, here Nunes starts. So I think now Diego Jota get the rest, and he can obviously play in the striking position. And also Ernest Slot in press conference said that he can be tried as a number 10 position. So I think Diego Jota will start whether in number 9 or number 10 position in game week 7, and that's why my prediction for Diego Jota he will start, and my prediction for Nunes is he will bench because I don't think he will start in game week 7. I think Shobaslai will start in game week 7 in number 10 position, but in 70 or 80 minutes, Szoboszlai will be served on that Diego Jota moved on the number 10 position and Nunes in the number 9 position. It might happen, and that's why I put him in the Nunes in the substitute category. Now I will talk about Tottenham, and Postecoglou was asked about Son fitness, and Postecoglou said in this matter is that Son is unlikely to be featured in Game Week 7, and he was asked about Son about his international duty, and Postecoglou is said that if he doesn't play for us, it doesn't seem like he is close to it. At last, he said that if he doesn't play for us, this means in Game Week 7, I don't think Son will start, and that's why I put him in the no play category. Postecoglou was also said something about Kulusevski in the center role, and he said that he has been brilliant in many respects, as in what he's able to do in the central role. He has an unbelievable capacity to run with the ball. The number are ridiculous. This means Kulusevski is preferred in center position for Postecoglou, and this means that in game week 7, Kulusevski will start because he is playing ridiculously well. So Kulusevski will start, and if Kulusevski is starting the center position alongside Madison, I think then Johnson plays his secret, and that's why I put Johnson in the right wing position, and he should start in game week 7. And if you look at the Postecoglou on defensive side, he said about Udogie is that Udogie is fairly tired, but physically no issues. This means that Udogie is tired, and I don't think he will start in Game Week 7. I prefer that he will be a substitute for Game Week 7. So if you are a Udogie owner, that's not a very good thing for you. Now I will turn my attention to Manchester City, and Pep Guardiola asks about the injury condition for Manchester City, and the answer is that except Ake, Kevin, or of course Rodri and Oscar Book, the rest are fine. He is also highlighting Kevin De Bruyne injury, and for tomorrow he is not ready. So I think for game week 7, Kevin De Bruyne will not play, and that's why I put him in the no play category. And as Kevin De Bruyne is injured, so I think in number 10 position Foden will start, and that's why I put him in the start category. And if you look at the Manchester City defense in Champions League, in right back position there is Rico Lewis, in left back position Vardy start for Manchester City, and around 80 minutes Vardy is subbed off for Kyle Walker. And my prediction for game week 7 is that Walker will start in the right back position, but Rico Lewis is also start, and I think he will play in the midfield position. But when Kyle Walker will be subbed off, I think Rico Lewis will move in the right back position, and Vardy will start in the left back position. So that's why I put Rico and Bardiol in the start category. Now I will talk about two sides Newcastle and Arsenal. And in press conference, Newcastle manager Eddie Howe said that Isak will not be make the game. So this means for game week 7, Isak is ruled out, and that's why I put him in the no play category. In absence of Isak, Gordon will start as number 9, and I think he will also be the penalty taker. I put him in the start category because I think he will start for Newcastle. Now I'll move on to the Arsenal in Champions League match against PSG. Timber is starting in the right back position, and Californi in the left back position, but Timber is substituted early because of injury. And in press conference, Arteta said that Timber and White are close to return, so I think both are available. But I think in game week 7, White will start in the right back position and left back position Californi. And around 80 or 70 minutes, White will be substituted for Timber. Now I'll move on to the Arsenal attack, and I think Trossard will start in the Odegaard role like the Champions League match against PSG, and Martinelli will be deployed in the left wing position. So for game week 7, I think my prediction is that Trossard and Martinelli both start for Arsenal. Now I will talk about few other news, and the first news is that Bruno Fernandes suspension is overturned. So for game week 7, I think Bruno Fernandes is sure to start, and also Gibbs White one match suspension is over, so I think Gibbs White will also start in game week 7. And now I'll move on to the Aston Villa in Champions League. Ramsey and Bailey was substituted early because of some injury, and I think Aston Villa manager asked about their injury, and he said that both Ramsey and Bailey are doubt to feature against Manchester United. This means I think in game week 7, Duran will start in the center forward position along with Watkins, and if Aston Villa are not playing well, then I think Bailey will be in the field as a substitute, and that's why I put Bailey in the substitute category. And the Aston Villa manager is also very happy with Duran, and I think in game week 7 he deserves a start. Now I'll move on to the Chelsea, and if you look at the Chelsea pace conference league match, there is no game time for Madueke. So in game week 7, I think Madueke will start for Chelsea and he will play in the right wing position. Mikolenko, on the other hand, will miss the next 2 or 3 weeks due to calf injury. So a lot of FPL manager going for 4.3 million Mikolenko, but it's not going to be good for them because he is now injured. So I expect no play for Mikolenko in game week 7. Now I will talk about few FPL dilemma for game week 7 and the youngest FPL manager trend. The first question is that what is your thought on Palmer for game week 7? 32% engaged FPL manager already have got Palmer in their team. 36% are gonna buy Palmer for game week 7 and 32% has not got Palmer and will not go for buying him. And at present my thought is that I have no Palmer in my team and I am not gonna buy Palmer in game week 7 because I don't think Palmer will score multiple return against Nottingham Forest in game week 7. Now move on to the question number 3, and who is the best cheap midfielder to buy in game week 7? 43% engaged FPL manager thinking that Rogers is the best option. 33% are going for McNeil and 19% for Simeone and 5% for Smith Rowe. And if you look at my ranking, I prefer McNeil right now because he's playing for Everton in the number 10 position, playing well and also scoring goal. He's in great form. Then number 2 position, I put Rogers because Aston Villa playing very attacking football, and I think Rogers is their number 10 player, so he's playing well there. Simon is the best player in among these four, but his feature run is not looking good, and that's why I put him in the rank 3. And Smith Rowe in game week 4, he will in game week 7 he will play against Manchester City, so it's not a good fixture. So that's why I put him in the rank 4 position. Now I will move on to the dilemma number 3. What is your plan on Luis Diaz for game week 7? 25% engaged FPL manager trends here is that there is no Luis Diaz in their team. 40% gonna start Luis Diaz in their team and 15% gonna bench and 20% gonna sell Luis Diaz. And if you look at my thought here, I will probably start Luis Diaz because I think Luis Diaz should start in game week 7 against Crystal Palace away. But if I find that he's bench in game week 7 before deadline, then I will gonna sell Luis Diaz in my team. Now move on to the question number 4. And what is your plan on Rico Luis for game week 7? And if you look at the English FPL manager trends here, is that 72% English FPL manager gonna play Rico Luis because he has got very good upside. 12% gonna bench Rico Luis and 6% I'm going to sell Rico Luis and 10% not have Rico Luis in their team. And I think if you look at my thought here, I think I will play Rico Lewis in game week 7 because he has got very good upside here, and I think he will be deployed in the midfield position in game week 7. Now move on to the question number 5, and who will be your captain in game week 7? 65% engaged FPL manager are going for Haaland as their captaincy choice, and I'm also lining up with it because I think in game week 7 I'm gonna captain Haaland. 23% are going for Palmer captaincy because in game week 6 he scored 4 goal. I think a lot of FPL manager are gonna knee jack here, and 23% engaged FPL manager also knee jacking here. 8% are gonna captain Saka in game week 7 against Southampton home, and 4% are going for Salah as a captaincy shout for game week 7 against Crystal Palace away. Now I will talk about top 10 transfer for game week 7 in by category, and I think for game week 7 Mbemo is an essential player because he can score within 1 minute, and in last two match we can get it. If you look at his next few fixtures, is also looking good in game week 7. He will play against Wolves, and Wolves are not a very good defensive side, so I expect Mbemo to score in this match, and that's why he's an essential player because he's the talisman for Brentford and also the penalty taker. In rank 2 position, I put Gabriel because if you look at Arsenal defense, this is looking good as usual, and also Gabriel has got very good attacking threat. His goal elimination ratio is 0.50, which is quite good for a defender, so that's why I put him in the essential category. In rank 3 position, it's Palmer from Chelsea. In last match, he scored 4 goals against Brighton, but his fixture run now looking not totally good, and that's a negative thing for Palmer. But if you look at his performance, he's quite attacking. In number 10 position, he is fit very well for Chelsea, and under Maresca, he's playing explosive football, so he can score against any opponent. That's why I put him in the rank 3 position. And if you look at his goal elimination ratio is 1.46, which is for a midfielder is quite good. In rank 4 position, I put McNeil from Everton. Everton defense attacking data are not looking good, but if you look at McNeil, his data looking good. His goal elimination ratio is 0.71, and in number 10 position, he's played absolutely well. In previous season, he is playing in the wing position, but in this position, he's not scoring goal. But in number 10 position he played very well, so that's why I put him in the good category. In rank 5 position is Nicolas Jackson from Chelsea. In conference league, Nkunku start for Chelsea and played for 90 minutes, and Nicolas Jackson is rested. So I think in game week 7 he will start against Nottingham Forest, and he can be a very good FPL upset because he and Palmer are a very good duo. And I think in game week 7 he's a good option. His goal minute is 0.14, which is also good. In rank 6 position is Van de Ven from Tottenham. Tottenham this season defensively looks solid, and I think his expected goal elimination ratio is 0.27 for a center back is quite good, just 4.5 million option, and I think for gaming 7 he's a good buy. In rank 7 position is Konate. I think in gaming 7 he is an optional buy because Liverpool this season defensively looks solid, but their picks are now turned out, so that's not a positive thing for Konat. And also he has got some rotation lead because of Konsa. In rank 8 position is Raul Jimenez, but in game week 7 he will play against Manchester City. I don't expect him to score in this match, and that's why I put him in optional category because when the picks are turned, he's a very good option because his expected goal ratio is 0.98, which is quite good. In rank 9 position, I put Luis Diaz in game weeks, and he has got some doubt that he might not start for Liverpool. But my prediction is that he will start for Liverpool in game week 7 because Arne Slot is asked about the minute of Liverpool player and he said positively. So I think in game week 7, Luis Diaz will start, but he will be played 60 or 70 minutes, which is not ideal for playing a player and buying a player. And that's why I put him in the ignored by category. But if you have Luis Diaz, I think you should hold him. In rank 10 position, I put Dilap from Ipswich. I'm not happy with Dilap because if you look at the Ipswich attacking, that is not looking good. They are the one of the worst attack in this Premier League, so that's why I put him in the ignore category. And if you look at Dilap expected goal elimination ratio is 0.44, which is not good for a forward, so that's why I put him in the ignore category. Now I will talk about top 10 sale, and if you have Joe Pedro in your team, I think you need to sell him because he will be out for 2 months, and that's why I put him in the essential sale. In rank 2 position, it's Isak, and he's also an essential sale because I don't think he will start in game week 7. In rank 3 position, it's Son, and I also think that he will not start in game week 7 because Postecoglou is not sure about his fitness and he's unlikely to feature in Game Week 7. So that's why I think he's an essential sale for Game Week 7. In rank 4 position, it's Eze. This season, Crystal Palace are not looking very attacking team, and also Eze lost his penalty to Mateta, so that's a concerning thing. And also Crystal Palace are not scoring goals, so for Game Week 7, I think Eze has a good sale. And if you look at the rank 5 position, is Fernandez. He is getting 2 red card in last 2 matches, so it's not a very good thing for you because he's a card yellow card magnet. So in game week 7, as Manchester United is struggling, so I am not thinking that you should keep Fernandez, and that's why I put him in the good sell category. Now move on to the rank 6 cell and is Luis Diaz, and I think for game week 7 he's an optional sell. I think he will start in game week 7 but served off early. So if you think that in 60 minutes he can score goal, then you can sell him. In rank 7 position it's Mitro. In game week 7 he has got Manchester City away match. It's a hard match, so I don't expect him to score, but after that he can obviously score, and he is playing very well for Fulham, so he might be a good option later, but at present I am not totally confident about him, and that's why he can be an optional sale for game week 7. In rank 8 position, it's Salah. A lot of FPL managers selling Salah because they want to go for Palmer or Saka. I can get it, and if you think that Palmer or Saka will get more point than Salah, then you can go for it. But if I am a Salah one, I am not gonna sell him against Crystal Palace away because I think in this match Salah can score goal. In the rank 9 position, I think you should avoid selling Saliba because in game week 7 he can get the clean sheet point against Southampton. I expect Arsenal to maintain clean sheet in this match, and that's why he is an ignored sell. In rank 10 position, it's Saka. A lot of FPL managers selling Saka, but I don't think it's a good decision because in game week 7 he can get mega hole, and I think in this match I think he will obviously score, and that's why you should ignore this kind of sale.